Back now on Try today, and I want to speak with a very special guest who's a good friend of the show. He's been on many times before. Kevin Baker is Executive Director for Piedmont Triad International Airport. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, Jim.
Let's talk about the economic impact of the airport. First, tell me how many folks roughly that you employ directly in the airport, not around the complex. We'll get to that in a second, just at the airport.
Yeah, so the airport authorities are pretty small. We have about 130 full-time equivalents.
That's a lot, though. Now, for all the tenants and people that in what I call the airport campus or the complex, how many jobs are we talking about?
I'm talking about 8,600 people at the last count that was done. That's at 50 some odd employers around the airport, and of course some of them are very large. You've got Honda and HAECO that are very large, over 1,000 people, and then others. The airlines, of course, have a lot of people, and soon to be more too.
We'll hit that 9,000 level pretty soon. I know that we've talked off camera before, you're very proud of the types of jobs and the broad range of employers and customers who have come to settle at PTI. Talk about that.
Yeah, so our targets have been OEMs, so original equipment manufacturers. So that's Honda, that's the new Boom, et cetera. And then MROs, which is maintenance, repair, and overhaul. So that's like the HAECOs, Cessna, and Marshall Aerospace, which is under construction right now. The beauty of the group of companies that we have is that you've got a broad mix of OEMs and MROs and other suppliers and providers, et cetera, and they have different customers, right? So you've got Honda, who is marketing to the business segment, business jet segment.
Right.
And you've got HAECO, who maintains aircraft for large airlines, the American, United, et cetera.
Okay.
Marshall is also an MRO. They're maintaining airplanes, but only military aircraft and only the C-130. So while they compete for employees, they're not competing against each other for customers. So
right.
You've got this broad range of employers and types of customers that those employers have.
Well, now you mentioned that in the total campus, like 8,600 jobs roughly. Do you have any idea of what the average salary is of those folks, as well as the ones that could be announcing anytime?
Yeah, the last study that we conducted has the average salary pushing near $75,000.
Wow.
Which, by the way, the average household income within 35 miles of the airport is about $52,000. So you're talking about a single employee, because average household income sometimes is two earners, don't forget.
Right.
So you're talking about almost 150% of average household income for a single job. And then some of the new ones are pushing 100,000. Honda is pretty high. I don't know exactly where they are, but I think they might be getting close to 100. Boom will be around the same.
For folks that are sitting here watching this saying, that's great, I'll try flying from PTI, or I like PTI, but they might say, well, all this job stuff and everything, I'm not really concerned about that, but they should be, because talk about the economic impact of all this.
Well, just imagine, for instance, if we didn't have Honda in this community. All of a sudden you lose thousands of people who are earning very high salaries, who are part of this community, part of the fabric of the community, who are out there spending their money, going to restaurants and hotels and buying cars, buying houses, et cetera. If you didn't have that in the community, would wish we did, right? And so the airport is the 5th largest employer in the Piedmont Triad, only after 2 hospitals and 2 school systems. So it's a very important place of employment, and for that reason, I think people should pay attention.
If we were going to do a commercial and I told you had 10 seconds, what would you say if I said, ask you, why should anybody fly from PTI?
Because it's easy.
That's less than 10 seconds. We had 5 extra seconds. I might have to make up the time now. It is easy, that's right. So am I, but we'll get into that in another segment. Kevin Baker, thank you, sir. Up on screen, flyfrompti.com, flyfrompti.com. Please check that out. Come back and see us, will you?
I will. Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.